Well, hello. Thank you so much for joining us. And I am joined by the lovely Prachi all the way from India. And it is so great to see you again because you joined us on the Holistic Transformation Week a few years ago now, didn't you?
Yes, to be precise, almost exactly 3 months, 3 years,
3
2020 it
years,
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Would you just do us a big favor and just introduce yourself and a little bit about your background up till the point where you joined the program?
Definitely. So, hello all. I'm Prachi from India, in Bangalore, India, and I'm so excited to be here. Um, I'm the first holistic sleep coach in India, and along with that, I run a mother's community called Snugbab, and I'm also a lactation professional and baby wearing educator. So, sleep, feeds, and love are my main areas of work. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for having me here too.
Oh, it's such a pleasure, and you are doing such wonderful things. I'm just curious, like, we often talk a lot on the program about culture and how culture influences sleep. How do you feel the sort of sleep support and sleep training culture is in India? Is this something that has exploded, or tell us a bit about that?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, culture is so dynamic here because we see very different spectrums of people. Like the gap between the haves and haves not is a lot.
Yeah.
So what generally is seen is they look at the West as that's the benchmark or that's the measure of prosperity. So how am I still putting my baby in my room? That's something not right. That's not something the people there do. So it's a very difficult task, so to say, to normalize what's being done is fine, it's all right, and it doesn't reflect, or it's nothing judgmental about the way you live or your status, so to say. So that is one spectrum which we have to deal with, and the other is where they're so much into, I want to hold on to things which are done traditionally. So things like traditionally, there's this kind of a sling which is used in India to put the babies to sleep, and it's like a hammock. So it's not safe at all. So counseling them to kind of open up and look at different possibilities is another challenge. And this whole because in India many people still have joint stay in joint families, and a lot of influence of close family members is on how you bring up children. So, oh, when you were small you used to sleep for 22 hours, there's something wrong with your milk or with the baby. So all these kind of complexities are a lot, but yeah, it's fun navigating through them. And finally, when you see a family actually accepting things and the reality the way it is, it's worth the effort.
Yeah, that sounds so many layers of complexity there. The kind of everybody who engages with a conversation about sleep has that kind of struggle between what feels instinctive and intuitive and what the books say, but actually what you're describing is another layer of complexity on top of that, which is, if I lean into my intuition and instinct, then is that kind of like backward? Is that the wrong thing to do? And actually, should I be moving towards, that's kind of mind-blowing, actually, isn't it?
It is.
Well, thank goodness for you, because actually you are in a really unique position, especially with all of the other amazing hats that you wear, with the baby wearing and the massage and the breastfeeding support and infant feeding support. So thank you so much. Now, why did you originally join the Transformation Weeks? That was a week-long sort of program that we ran for a while to tell people a little bit about this different narrative that we have about sleep. And it was a brilliant thing because it had lots of engagement from people from lots of different cultures, and you were one of them. What attracted you to that particular week in the first place?
Right. So I've been running this mothers community for a while now. And the very common questions are around sleep, and nobody has a definitive answer. So, and when I came across the workshop, I was like, I at least need to get a flavor of what's real, what is to be, because me being the community, I'm driving people, I should at least know which direction I have to take people to. And that's the thing that actually made me, get into it, and just to get a flavor of things. And when I got to know about it, it was like, whoa, this is a different world altogether, and I need to know more. I need to educate myself to be able to help the people.
Yeah, amazing. And you were a very engaged member of the community within the Transformation Week. I still remember that now. And what were the things that sort of stood out for you? You were talking a bit about how you had like a wow moment, but what was it that really jumped out for you? Was there something that kind of joined up the dots for you in terms of what you were seeing in your community and the gap that you were kind of juggling and sort of grappling with?
Yeah. So, the wow moment was like, trust your instincts, so don't try to get into too many, and don't try to complicate things. So, just the way we talk about food, the closer you are to the natural form, the better it is. I think it's the same with us when it comes to behaviors. The closer you are to yourselves, you will know where, what you have to do. And don't have to complicate things with different medicines and herbs to make babies sleep. So I think understanding the real nature and the progression of sleep, I think is the foundation to do any strategy, anything around sleep for the babies, I feel.
Yeah. And how are you, so how did you feel when, that we had that kind of big celebration at the end, and you were selected to be the winner of the scholarship at the end of the Transformation Week? How did that feel?
It was very exciting. At the same time, it was overwhelming, because I knew that the massive amount of work I have to do now, but it was super exciting. I mean, I still have a lot to do, but it gave me that push that required, what I would say, that I had my toolkit ready with the course, and I'm ready to deliver, kind of a thing. So it really made me much more confident as a professional, and made me realize, having holistic approach towards things is very important. And that's how I then took the next step of, getting my 95 hours of lactation training as well, formally.
Yeah, amazing. So we loved having you on the program, but what are you now doing with sleep? And do you think that the approach that you're taking in India would be different to somewhere else in the world? How have you kind of made that culturally kind of relevant and sensitive within your community?
Right. So, when I started, because of course, when you're giving a professional service, you would want to charge somebody. But when, in India, when I say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to tell you what is natural, what is normal. Why should we pay somebody to tell us what is normal, right? So I started with simple things like, educating my community mothers, educating through different short videos and clips and short courses, which people could sign up for relatively very cheaper amount. I start, in the clinic, I started making it more like a holistic consult, where people are coming to get a holistic advice involving baby wearing, sleep, feeding, that kind of a thing, which, I feel that, help people gain more confidence. They knew that I'm here, I'm doing a video, I'm very confident about what I'm speaking. And then they go back and realize, oops, yes, this is the reality. This is what is happening with my baby too. I also wrote a chapter on sleep in a breastfeeding related book. I wrote my own book this year. Though this is about one ritual which is done in the Hindu religion, about when a child turns about 7 to 8 years, like going to the next stage of life. But here I talk a lot about early parenting influences on, how it influences the child as he's growing up. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of things are happening, and I love my work. I feel the best thing because of holistic sleep program happened was I got the flexibility to work. It made me, think so creatively. Like right now, on a month-long road trip, but I don't have to worry about my work because I can work remotely,
Yeah.
and that gave me that kind of freedom to balance out my professional and personal life as well.
Yeah. Amazing. And do you have many colleagues now? You were the first holistic sleep graduate, but you've got colleagues, I believe, now in India, and the message is spreading, which is amazing. Can you tell us about that?
Right. So one of my teammate, Aarti Mehta, so she's just recently moved to US. She has also done the program. Another colleague of mine, she's in Canada though. So she has done from another institute, but she has done a holistic sleep. On the same lines is what she had done. She loves you, and she's the one who had referred me. Like, you have to follow Lindsay, and you have to, So yeah, I mean, the good part is we all share the similar thought processes and philosophy, and that makes us a very, a stronger team together.
Yes, absolutely. Having some allies that you can speak to around the world. But have you got any sort of colleagues you can network with in India? So you were talking about how difficult this challenge is. Are you still all on your own spreading this message?
Kind of. So there are a few Facebook groups, but I'm not aware. I don't think we have any HSC graduate as such, but there are a few groups who are working in this area. I have, a few of them who work in breastfeeding, area who, kind of we work together, and a few doctors, a few physicians with whom I work. So yeah, I mean, it's slow, but it's good at whatever pace it is going, and I'm glad I'm able to make some positive impact.
No, it's amazing. No, I just meant, it's so important, isn't it, to have that community and the people that you can refer to. And sometimes it's so stressful, isn't it, if you feel like you're the only person talking about stuff. It could feel like a huge responsibility, can't it?
True. But what also helps is having a credential, so that it's when people think twice before questioning. So okay, I know she has done this, and probably I shouldn't be questioning her, kind of a thing. So the program helped me tremendously in this area.
Amazing. And so sorry, we will not take up too much more of your valuable time. If you're on a road trip, that we'll let you get back to that. But can you just finish us off by telling us what your plans are? Do you have any projects that you're working on at the moment, or any more books, anything in the pipeline?
Yeah, so I'm working so this is my vision to write a book for mothers wanting to go back to work and cover the sleep aspect also in that. Along with that, the clinic is, of course, something I'm working on. So yes, and few recorded courses which I want to roll out.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. You are an absolute gift to your community, and we really, really appreciate all of the work that you're doing. It sounds like nobody else could do it. So thank you for showing up. And do you want to just let people know where they can find you, how they can get in touch with you? What's your social media handle and website and all of that stuff?
So you can find me, it's called Snagbub Parenting, Snagbub. So Snagbub Parenting is where you can find me, or Tejas_Prachi is my personal handle. So you can reach out to me anytime if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Prachi. It has been an absolute honor talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Sparing the time.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.